I look for you in magazines. I look for you in magazines. I'm taking off my wedding
Hello,
ring.
ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Deeply Unwell. Hi, Shakira.
Hi. What if this was an ASMR episode?
Well, it can be because hopefully our audio is better than the last time.
It can be now, you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't hear you because we're talking so quietly. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of Deeply Unwell. My name's Shawnee Potterfort.
Shawnee Patterfort?
Shawnee Fatterfort.
Fatterfort. And my name's Penelope Prinkle.
No, you're supposed to say something like Iggy Bylon. Because I was doing like a thing of like if my name were Connie Hamilthorpe, but I said Shawnee Shamilthorpe.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, I'm
It's okay. You don't have to do it now.
Figgy Newton.
Thanks. That's cool. Just like something I was playing around with. Just like an idea I've been thinking about for a really long time.
It's really gay.
I'm just joking. I really
How are
wasn't.
you? It's 100 degrees.
It's literally 100 degrees in here. Sorry if you can hear the AC, but we have no other choice. I don't
There's
like
a heat
having
wave.
a pillow.
Jesus
Oh,
Christ.
Did something break?
No, it's a candelabra.
Okay, so it's okay.
It's literally 100 degrees.
I just trekked all the way here from the East Village in
That's
100-degree
crazy.
weather, so I'm being really brave.
But doesn't
and
she look really fabulous?
Showing my arms today because
Yeah, and she's
I'm
showing her
having a heat
strawberry skin,
stroke.
and this is her exposure
Yeah,
therapy.
so this is my strawberry
This is
skin
what we call strawberry skin.
and my really strong arms for no reason other than born male. So
And I come to you wearing, I hope this is okay for YouTube, but I'm wearing a Skims bra underneath an Intimacy Me boat
why wouldn't
neck
it be okay for YouTube?
nipples.
You're wearing a bra.
Exactly. It's like, let's get over this.
It's totally
Let's
fine.
get over this. And wearing an Intimacy Me boat neck cashmere top on a 100-degree day. However, it is one of my best colors in my color season.
That is actually really nice. I think that this is better for you than navy. I actually don't love navy on you, if I'm being honest.
Okay, well, eat my ass.
I like the charcoaly navy, but like the true navies, I think are actually a little too aggressive.
Aggressive.
It's
Well, we'll
just-
see what the papers say.
Maybe it's because your hair's strawberry blonde right now.
Ew. Don't say that. It's not strawberry. It's ash.
Did I ask people in the last one to
No one
leave
said
down
anything.
below? Well, it's just
Yeah,
came out
exactly.
today, so
We're recording the pod. We're doing a really good job.
we are. Because we're doing 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Should we, I feel like we need to relax a little bit more. I feel like you're tensing me out a little bit. Is that okay?
Well, because I don't really want to be laying back like this.
Well, I know, but it's like, use the pillow that you were given.
I didn't really like it.
Put it under your lower
There's a
back.
pillow right here.
Yeah. Does that work for you?
It's too hot, you guys.
I know. I might
I'm
have
gonna
to.
stuff
I might have to change my my panties because I'm so fucking horny and wet. I might have to change my shirt because it's like, oh, I'm wearing cashmere,
might
and I
have to,
actually am
like,
sweating.
Not be under a blanket, but I'm wearing
But you're
a
sensual.
thong.
Well, as long as you don't expose yourself.
As long as we go
Lily
like this,
Tino.
okay.
Over 200,000 signatures on the Lily Tino petition
Is
to
that
get her
real?
off of TikTok. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Him.
You know, I'm seeing a lot of both sides of that discourse that is like, I know it's like so easy to be like, oh yeah, she's harmful to the trans community, so she should be deplatformed. But then the other side of that, which is like, do you know Kat Black?
Yeah.
Really smart.
Very smart.
She was
Very
saying
smart,
like,
weird bitch.
listen, like there are weirdos, there are grifters that are trans, and there are weirdos that are fucking cis. Just because she's trans doesn't mean she should be deplatformed for being a weirdo.
I don't know if
You
it's
know
so
what I
much about
mean?
being a weirdo as much as it is like recording other women in like public bathrooms. That's a little weird.
Yeah, but it's like everyone does that.
But it's like
All women do that.
know she's like a weird fuck.
Right,
You
right.
know, like she just has very nefarious vibes.
I'm like, I obviously hate Lily Tino. And want
Lily
her to
Tino,
die.
if you're out there listening, we hate you and we want you
You to fucking
Oh my god, today literally this like I sent you guys the thing, but like the screenshot but of the like the scam people who are constantly like, hey, I'm Kayla, I'm a recruiter.
Yeah.
And I always tell
Hi,
them,
I'm
like,
Yeah.
and today they were like, okay, well, do you still want to hear about the job? I was like, literally, like, and then she was like, okay, well, if you want to know anything about, I was like, I will kill you.
What you don't
I will
understand
slit your
is
throat.
there's already someone there holding a gun to their head while they're texting you.
You have
that.
literally
They
nothing
said,
to lose.
If this person, the 500th person today, tells you to, I'm gonna do it for you. That's probably what their boss is doing.
Aww.
So, but you know what?
Like, I
Not
get
my
the hustle,
problem.
but it's like,
It's a scam. That's not a hustle. That's a scam.
is that a scam?
Yeah, they're scams.
Oh, they're not trying to look for people with jobs.
They're definitely not.
Oh, well then, Lily Tino.
That's not like nobody is actually recruiting and using
And we get
that method.
deplatformed
I
from
don't
YouTube
know-
for telling Lily Tino to.
It's okay. Alec will know what to do. Alec's our editor.
Alex is our really fierce gay editor.
He makes all of our clips.
He's gay, but kind of like non-binary at the same time. But he's gonna hate that we
He's
said
not
that.
non-binary.
Yeah, but he
He's-
kind of has like he's very like androgynous
Yeah.
and gorgeous.
How was your day?
It was good. Oh,
How was
I'm
your
so
client?
happy to see you.
I just saw you last night.
Yeah. Well, it's like I could see you every day.
She's like, "Wow, this really is your color, honey.
Thank you. Do you
Your
like?
eyes are so sparkly." You guys can't tell because the lighting's really bad.
Yeah. Sorry, we're recording my bedroom. It's midday, so.
My apartment has a really ugly background, and her apartment has the really bad lighting. But we alternate
because it's one side. It's from one
because
side.
that's a real partnership.
But we make compromises for each other. Today. That was today. Tuesday. Okay. Oh, also I wrote this on the other day. I'm like, think it's stuff I want to talk about in the pod, but like saying like instead of saying Monday, Tuesday, saying like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
That's
Friday,
what you want to talk about today?
Saturday. No, just Saturday.
Where did you come up with that?
I don't know. I think I was like just stimming or something. I was like, oh, it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
Yeah, if you would like to transition into a pattern of saying
I like to
Tuesday instead of
transition. I like
Tuesday,
it.
I'm happy to do that with you. That's totally fine.
Today is Tuesday.
How was your client?
Okay.
It was fast, huh?
He came early.
Oh.
I hate when they come early, like 15 minutes early. It's like, okay.
Make 'em wait in
But
the
it was
heat.
like fine because he paid me buco buckarines.
Oh.
But he also does surgery on pigs and baboons. So
That's
that'll
not real.
tell you all you need to know.
Only pigs and baboons.
And horses and like he doesn't do
So
like
he's
surgery on like
he's,
cats
a
and dogs.
veterinary surgeon.
Yes. And like researcher.
Did he tell you specifically he operates?
Well,
on
he was like
baboons?
tomorrow I have to operate. I have surgery in the morning on pig.
Oh wow.
Said I dissected a baby pig in high school.
Honestly, I bet to be like a veterinary surgeon requires like more schooling and training than a regular
Well, yeah, because
surgeon.
it's like you have to
'Cause
operate
they're
on so
all
many different species.
They all look different inside.
They all look different.
But also we all look
But
the
all
same
the
on the inside. We
same.
all bleed red.
We all bleed blood.
We all bleed blood.
And you know what's crazy? Mice.
Mice.
We test on them, and usually what works on them works on us.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, like
Well,
all
that's
the
why they
clinical
test on
testing.
them,
yeah,
huh?
yeah,
Because we have similar DNA.
yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I
Anyway.
had 2 clients today.
Wow, you
Both
better
of them were
work.
sickening.
Well, I have an
hotties.
out call after this, and he's French.
Oh, you do?
7:15.
The girls are working.
I'm leaving, but yeah, I don't. My client was not hot. He's a pig surgeon. So okay, you guys are making a commitment.
We are.
I have to talk to you now because you get mad when I don't.
I don't get
talk to
mad.
you.
Yesterday we had dinner and I said I feel like what's lacking in our podcast is we're not having a conversation with
If you
each
could
other a
feel
lot of
the
the
skin.
times.
So
Does it feel
smooth.
good?
Yeah.
Feels kinda
We're having
sticky.
conversation. My conversation
I said I
is
feel like we're just
we are
like
making
talking
a
at
commitment.
these
We're
people.
making a commitment. Don't worry. Don't look at them. We're making a commitment
Uh-huh.
to having conversations.
I want you
together.
to stop touching me.
Sorry.
It's too sticky. Your hands are sticky. I thought it was
No,
me,
your
but-
skin is sticky.
Well, we're both sticky. I gotta keep my leg up, huh? We're making a commitment.
Yeah, we're just making a
To-
commitment for legitimacy, right?
For this, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is like, I'm here because she wants me to be
Well, the
here.
thing is that we're just going to be really good girls.
We're going to be really good girls. Because I said, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I can't do half-assed. I can't, like, it pains me to output bad content.
Yeah, even though everyone laughs. But guess what?
She believes that, like, everything we do is good, but I believe that everything we do is shit. So,
Well, people listen anyway. The thing is that we have a docket again.
I have notes.
Well, I do too.
So
So
do we want to talk about the Materialists?
Yeah, maybe what we should do is we should alternate.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't have that
Let's talk
many,
about the
but-
Materialists.
Okay, so we saw the Materialists, and I went in expecting to hate it because, of course, everyone online is like, "This is brokey pop propaganda."
That's what who said.
Dakota
Sprinkle,
Johnson can't act. She has no charisma or what's the chemistry with any of her co-stars ever.
The thing is that Dakota Johnson is such an actress that she fits perfectly in these types of roles.
This role was, I bet you they wrote this role for her.
Yeah, 100%.
It's
I
like
bet you she
so
did not
her.
audition.
No, definitely not. And it's like, also, she's not a bad actress. She just gets a lot of shitty movies, or she agrees to do a lot
Yeah,
of shitty movies.
Madam
Because
Web.
I'm sorry, Suspiria 2018, she did great in that movie.
Yeah, gorgeous.
She was not a bad actress.
Okay, there are actors like Meryl Streep, and then there are actors like Dakota Johnson. And
Right.
Dakota Johnson needs to be cast in roles that
She's a personality hire.
are conducive to
like
her
Pedro
personality.
Pascal. Well, Pedro,
Yeah.
he's a good actor, but it's like those are both personality hires. And it's like,
Absolutely. And Chris
yeah,
Evans.
I will watch anything Dakota Johnson does. I don't care how bad the movie is. I want to look at her gorgeous long brown hair.
I love the way she
and
talks.
her sparkly eyes and her like
I
crispy
love how she's
voice.
just like,
Hey,
how are you?
yeah,
I
wait.
love limes.
Ellen, that's not true.
Ellen, that's not true. I did invite you. She reminds us of your friend in LA.
Kelly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Kelly.
I've never met someone who's
shout out to Kelly
yeah.
at Interior Hair. If you need a haircut in Los Angeles, go.
Oh,
go to
Interior Hair is
No more?
phasing out. Kelly's
Kelly.
going
Oh my
solo.
God.
It's a good thing.
Oh, well, I thought it was her like salon.
It's her salon as an owner, but she's gonna move into a private studio that's just her.
Right. Well, go see Kelly Macedo in Los Angeles if you need a haircut. But
If you're
she's very-
nasty.
She's very Dakota Johnson coded.
She is. She's really good at a bang.
Yeah, and she's really
French.
good at like really chic little like European cuts.
Every time I see Dakota Johnson, I'm like,
Her hair
I
is
should get
just so
bangs.
I know, same. Well, okay,
Like,
so I'm like
you just had
I
bangs.
see Dakota Johnson and I'm like
Totally.
this, you know. Like I see Dakota Johnson and I'm literally like this. Does that make sense?
Right. Well, you just got bangs literally
I know.
a few months
I
ago.
still have like little
but it just didn't
remnants.
really work out.
Yeah. Well, it's just like bangs are
You should, honestly, if you want to have bangs, you should be
A
wearing
clip-on.
clip-on bangs. Because, I mean this with love, you just don't have enough hairs to support a fringe. So, like,
you should
unless you want to,
Tino.
like, pull the hair from back
Fuck you, Lily
here.
Tino.
It's like, yeah, just do a clip-on, and then you can wear them whenever you want.
Right.
Like your
right.
wigs that you'll never wear.
Really being attacked.
You are being attacked, but someone has to tell her the truth.
Okay, so the Materialists I thought was really good because it was very like, okay, spoilers ahead. The Materialist was very real. It dealt with love and the power dynamics of like marriage and women's value and men's value and like perceived worth in a very, very real way. And I really appreciated that.
The business of dating and relationships and marriage
is a business deal.
Yeah.
And that is 100% true.
And it was a rom-com, and as far as rom-coms go, it's like it was really
It was like a dramedy.
tasteful. It was like
and
a
it was
dramedy.
filmed so beautifully,
Yeah.
like on film.
Yeah.
Color graded
Beautiful
so
shots.
beautifully. The audio
Long
was
shots, great
crisp
dialogue.
with their buttery voices,
Yes.
quoting you.
Yes. Buttery voices, Dakota and Pedro, just like I feel like they
Well,
were
they both have such disarming energies.
they were talking to each other like this the entire movie.
What would you like to drink?
And it was so smoothing. Smoothing?
It was
Why do I
soothing
have a
and
podcast?
smooth.
I can't speak words
Well, you know what I'm thinking? My brain's working all right now.
because you're off the
Yeah.
amygdala.
Well, you know what I just said? I said some words that were cool, like disarming. I said other stuff.
That is a good one to
Yeah.
recall.
um,
And I just recalled the word recall.
right.
So
But some people didn't like this because, spoiler alert, she ends up with the broke guy. So it's like Pedro Pascal is the rich guy, and then Chris Evans, who's like Captain America or whatever the fuck, he's poor, of course. He's like a cater waiter. And Dakota Johnson is a matchmaker. And she's like, oh, I can choose between, I'm helping other people deal with their love, but what about my love? And she ends up with the broke guy. But I think she should have ended up with Pedro. But
you wanted her to be
well,
with
yeah.
Pedro. Yeah.
I mean, just because selfishly, like, that's my dream.
yeah.
But there were so many.
You know what I liked about the movie is I feel like there was no right answer.
Exactly.
It's like it could have gone either
Exactly.
way and it still would have been a good movie.
And you saw the vulnerabilities of like a guy who seems like he has all of his shit together and
Right.
see like the walls kind of come down with the leg surgery.
right.
Like, and I leaned over to you in the theater. You're so beautiful. I leaned over to you in the theater and I said, that's exactly how I felt when she finds out that he had leg surgery. I was
Yeah.
like, that's exactly how I felt when I found out that my ex was bald.
Right.
Because we were sleeping and I woke up before him and
His wig was slipping?
toupee was coming unglued off of his head. And I was like,
I can't believe he slept with a fucking toupee on.
yeah, I know.
Or does he do the permanent one? He takes it off every day?
like every few days or whatever.
Wow.
And, like,
Well, now they
regrease
do
it.
the like.
But now
the
he's just
permanent
bald.
ones.
It's like, yeah, just be bald,
Just be
babe. Just be
bald.
bald.
I understand. It's hard to let
Yeah.
that go. as we know.
Oh, well, it's like I could say the same to myself. Same thing
Yeah.
to myself. It's like,
Yeah.
be bald.
I feel like everyone wanted this outcome where it's like, oh, she should have chosen like safety. She should have chosen the money and
Well,
like,
that's
the
projecting from
safety.
an insecurity
it's-
of like scarcity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's like, I understand it's like right now, like in this culture of misandry, it's like, yeah, that's all men can offer. It's like in the real world, you guys, we're all just still people with hearts who want true love.
And I
And
could
that's what this
never,
movie
I
was.
could marry Pedro Pascal because I'm like attracted to him and because like he seems like he'd set you up with like a comfortable life and shit.
He was
But like if I
tasteful.
didn't feel that love for the person, it's like how much money in the world can truly buy that like happiness that
Right.
you'd get from like being deeply in love with someone.
Also, they liked each other enough that it was like they would have been fine. I don't think you have to be like madly in love with each other.
Well, that's why marriage is also a business deal. And you know
Right.
why marriage is also a business deal? Because men are women's apex predator. Be careful. And what I really liked about this movie was women, like them being like, okay, Dakota Johnson was like interviewing like a bunch of people. She was like following up with matchies that she was like matching together in this matchmaking service, match.
Match.
And all the women were like, well, you know, I deserve everything. He has to be this, he has to be that. He can't be short, blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And Dakota Johnson straight up like, you're not a catch.
Right.
Like, you're just like a man a unicorn man, like Pedro Pascal, he can have any woman he wants to. What makes you think that you deserve that?
All women have been sold a lie that
We've
they
all
are
been sold a lie
catch.
that we're all a catch.
Yeah.
I do believe that I'm a catch only because, okay, you want to know why?
Why?
Number one, okay, and it's like, oh, you're smart, you're funny.
Yeah. Who isn't? This
Number
is New
one,
York City.
I'm hot. Number two, I'm exceedingly gorgeous. Number three, I'm an excellent lover. Number four, I'm smart. Number five, I'm socially adaptable in different situations. I have self-awareness. I am financially independent. and I'm a hilarious little goo-goo doll. Okay, and I have amazing taste.
And you just have like a beautiful heart and like a lot of
Yeah,
love to give.
and look
you're
at
just
you.
like a good time. You're a fun
And look
time.
at you.
You're just a fun time girl.
And are you seeing the mirror here?
I am. I'm also all of those things.
Right. So it's like, but we're single.
Yeah. Because we're trannies,
But
trannies,
we're
trannies,
recording
trannies, prostitutes,
recording women in
prostitutes.
public restrooms.
Yeah. I don't know though. It's like there are trannies who are successful in dating. I'm gonna say that it's the prostitution thing.
But you know what? I'm dating a guy right now, like going on dates
In your
with a
head?
guy. I know.
dating
I'm
a guy in my
going on a
head.
date. I'm going on dates with the guy who hired me initially, was my client. That's how, you know what? And I wrote this down actually in my notes. I said, see, I love how organically this podcast just unfolds.
It's just so organic.
I wrote down, I think that having like a really intense love affair at the beginning is a good way to have a long relationship. That one that starts with sex and like spending like multiple days together with each other.
So you believe in a fast
Both
burn.
of my, well, I don't know. I
Most
don't know if I would say
most
that,
people say
but
the other way.
most people would say the other way. But all of my ex relationships, all of them, have started out extremely horny, and we spend days together initially.
Right.
With my gay ex-boyfriend, the first time we met, we hooked up, and then I didn't leave his house for like 3 days. When I met Anthony, literally, we talked for like, you know, a couple weeks or something, and then he came from DC to New York and just spent months with me, and we just like were fucking and whatever. And then with Tom,
It's fine.
Tom,
There's a million Toms in the world.
literally, he hired me, and I spent like 2 days at his house. You know what I mean? And it's like, and those are my longest relationships I've ever had.
I also think that's just like your style of connection
I
with
prefer
people
it.
generally.
I
Like
prefer
even
it.
in like all your relationships, that's kind of how you are. Yeah. Like you love to go like days on end with someone.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful.
And I like that.
Yeah.
And it works for me.
But I don't know that that's the key to like a successful relationship.
Well, I just say that because those are the longest relationships I've ever had.
Right. That makes sense. I don't think my relationships were like that. Mine was just like normal dating. But I don't know what a successful relationship is. So,
I mean, I don't really either because all of them ended like terribly.
yeah.
But what's enough? You know?
Right.
Like, does anyone have like a stable relationship?
Yeah.
Very few.
Yeah. Austin and Kelly do.
Yeah.
They're like the real goals.
The real banana peel.
I don't really care anymore. It's not something I
Yeah.
strive for.
I'm kind of a hopeless romantic, and I'm just like,
You really are. She'll never give up.
I just want someone I can watch TV and eat ice cream with.
Right. And like the idea of that sounds like really nice to me, but also like really scares me and stresses me out at the same time.
Well, I'm also like,
So I'm like,
what are you doing in my house?
invading my personal space
and
and
that's
time.
why there's another bedroom over there.
Yeah.
So that anytime I do have a boyfriend, I'm going to put him in the smallest little bedroom like Harry Potter and underneath the cupboard, underneath the stairs.
Yeah.
And he can come out when I have a sock on my door.
That's really lucky. The other day I was thinking like, oh, I can't have a boyfriend because I live in a studio. It's like I've like regressed as far as like housing goes, where it's
Housing
like
scarcity.
I am living in housing that should be for someone in their early 20s, and it's like I can't have a boyfriend. What? I didn't say that. I was talking about young people.
Yeah.
And it's like, if I want to date someone my age, it's like, I need to have a more grown-up space. But it's like, I live in fucking Manhattan, okay? Like, there's no space.
She lives in a shoebox. The real
Unless
estate
I want to
is
spend
limited.
$4,000 a month.
Which
and
is
I don't
so
wanna do
crazy.
that. But it doesn't matter because I'm not dating anyway. Leave me alone.
Or as Whoopi Goldberg once said, why would I want someone in my house?
Yeah. I feel like once I go back to school, maybe things will change. My perspective might change.
Yeah. Like that
When
when
I
you
have
go
a
back
little
to school,
bit-
that's when you're like, oh,
I have a
need
normie
boyfriend
life.
loads.
Right. And I've also just realized one of the biggest reasons I don't date, we're getting so deep on this podcast, is because I have like so much insecurity about my value because of my work.
Wow.
I don't feel like a
See,
valuable
I like, don't
partner.
feel like that.
I go through phases where I'm like, yeah, this is what it is. But I know that like deep down, it's like, yeah, this doesn't have longevity to
I've
it.
seen like so many like hooker Twitter threads that are like,
I know. I've
this
seen
is why
those
you
too.
should date a hooker.
Yeah.
We're great at sex. We want to fuck
And I
you.
agree.
Like,
I think
we
I'm
have
just
money.
I'm
We
informed by
have
my
a free schedule.
experiences. So I'm like,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
just
yeah,
never
yeah,
take
yeah,
me
yeah,
seriously.
Well, it's like
So,
when you put like stack like tranny on top of hooker, it's like,
imagine when I'm a motherfucking student
Imagine
studying
when I'm a mother.
psychology and I'm like a therapist and I dress so chic every day and I'm also gorgeous and I'm like 40 years old. It's like, yeah,
You could
then the
never.
men are going to be like, yeah, you're hot, but I'm looking for someone younger.
exactly. It's like, but it's like, I still can't have children.
Right.
Right.
Doesn't matter. They just want an ass with more
This guy
buoyancy.
that I'm an ass with more buoyancy, aka my ass.
Yeah.
My ass is fat right
Look at
now.
this.
I like it. Boys like this.
No, it's literally, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, boys like that.
But
I
it's
like
like, what
that.
I know, what I don't know is like,
Brown
is
fat.
it fat or is it loose skin?
It's brown fat.
Because that feels like skin, huh? Depends on how deep you go.
Yeah, it's visceral.
Yeah.
What more did you have to say about the Materialists?
What did I write down? Women's expectations versus men's
Right.
expectations. The women's narrative around being a prize.
Right.
I wrote down that HRH said to settle. For the record, I don't really watch HRH anymore. I find her unbearable and she's just like gone too far. But sometimes I'll put on one of her videos while I'm in the shower. And she was saying like, women are delusional and they all think they're a prize and you're actually not hot and you should settle. Unless a man is like cheating on you or like addicted to drugs, just stay with him. It's like,
Well, it's like obviously
that girl fucking hates
she's
herself.
deeply unhappy
Like,
in her marriage, and
I
I
don't
would be
think she
too if I
is.
saw her.
I don't know if
icky
she is.
husband.
Well, she has a fake personality.
Well,
is-
her entire existence is contrived.
Right. Like who she is online is not who her husband is married to. You know?
Wow.
It's true.
That would
She
send me
it.
into psychosis if my partner was like, "Wah!" and then they were like totally.
I know, I'm like,
normal. I'd be like,
surely
what the fuck?
He has to be watching some of it.
Of course, he's featured on some of it.
Yeah. But I think he says he doesn't watch it. I don't know.
Her baby's ugly.
But she is like I just thought that was a really interesting and sad take.
I wish we had a baby right here.
I know.
Imagine we had like a little baby right here, and we were just like tickling
And it's
it.
laying on its back and
Yeah.
it's like playing with
Yeah.
something.
Watch the conservatives be like, "Ew, they're gonna molest it."
Yeah, and we're gonna fuck it.
And guess what? Your motherfucking baby's gonna burn.
Yeah. Did you have anything else to say about the Materialists?
No, but I think that everyone should go see it. I liked it.
I do too. I think
Yeah.
people should be more open-minded
Well, also
and just enjoy things.
People have such like crazy expectations for movies these days. It's
Yeah.
like just enjoy it, babe.
Anytime I want to go see a movie, all of the fucking
Shit it on them.
reviews I see of it are just like, oh, this is such shit. And then I go see it and I'm just like, what's wrong with
what
everyone?
a masterpiece.
Like, it doesn't even have to be a masterpiece. It's just like, is everything supposed to be like a Quentin Tarantino movie? Like, just have a little joy. Okay.
I'm in my. I'm not in my, but I feel it. I feel it in the ether coming toward.
Wow.
I feel like I'm going to enter an era of like fucking ugly guys, but like ugly hot.
Explain.
Okay, so
You have
yesterday.
something on your tooth. You got it. It's like watermelon.
Watermelon.
Did you do a
rind.
lip stain?
Mhm.
There you go.
And I had seaweed.
Give a seaweed.
So yesterday I looked really gorgeous for some reason.
You did. You looked so hot.
Like I looked.
You look
really,
like you were
I looked, like,
25.
really gorgeous.
And you
yesterday.
looked really chic and approachable.
Yeah. So I was walking down the street and we had dinner and we had like a couple like Campari spritzes or whatever. A little Italian joint, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home after we watch Love Island, which we should also talk about. However, I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home. So I was walking home, and literally, so many guys were like hitting on me. First, I went into the bodega, like by your house, to get a Gatorade, and the guy was like, "Yes, babe. What do you need, babe? Thank you, babe." I was like, okay. And then I start walking down the street, and every man is vocalizing something to me, literally saying something. And then
The heat.
yeah, and then I text you, and I'm like, oh my god, everyone's hitting on me. And then I go into the subway, and a man runs after me, grabs my hand, and says, "Hey, I just wanted to stop you. You're so beautiful. Can I have one moment just to talk to you? Can I talk to you just for a minute?" I said, "I have a boyfriend. I'm sorry." And then his lip
Was he cute or no?
he was like very average, but it was sweet. His lip was quivering because he was nervous to talk to me, and I was like,
wow.
"Oh my
She's a
god, the power
supermodel.
I hold." And then I went into the subway station, and this faggot with like Frankie Grande hair, and he was wearing like he had like a pink top on and like zebra print like short shorts, was like, "You were so gorgeous."
Boots.
And so
She's so back, you guys.
but yesterday, when I was wearing the same outfit earlier in the day, but when I was going to go meet you for dinner, I saw this guy, and he was like by like a gas station or something, and I was like, he was really tall, and he was tall, and he was wearing like a boot cut jean with like a boot, and he had like a hat on, like a ball cap, and he had like you know those like muscle tanks where like all of the side is exposed and you can see a man's body. I love that. So I saw him, and I was like, I'm gonna get his number or something in my mind mentally, right? So then he crosses the street, and then he like, we make eye contact because I'm following him crossing the street, and he goes, "Oh, are you going to the bar for the event?" And I was like, "No, I'm going to dinner, but I like your outfit." And then he was like, "Oh, thanks, Baba." And then we're both waiting to cross the street. He's like, "Can I get your number?" I was like, "Ah." And I give him my phone. I say, "Put your number in here." And then I text him. And then he
Gotta make
texted me
cards.
today.
What did he say?
And he's just like, "Hey, it's beep.
Hey, it's Brian.
Hey, it's Brahim."
Do you have a cock or not?
No, nothing like that.
Cock or not?
However, all of this happened in one day because it has not happened to me in years. It was God condensed all of the flirtation in one 12-hour period. Because I've not been hit on in so long publicly.
Yeah.
And it all happened yesterday.
It's all coming. You're really looking so good. But also, it's like a lot of the time you weren't presenting in a way.
I also was really confident yesterday when I was
Yeah.
walking.
Yeah, it's like you got your fucking hair on. You've done
Got
a bunch of crazy shit
on.
to your face. Like you look
Yeah.
25. You're gorgeous. She had the legs out yesterday. Little skirt.
I was very brat.
boots, and like it was a really cute outfit. It's like that's all it takes.
Yeah, and you know what? I think the shockwave therapy has made my posture better, and I noticed like my posture was really good, and my
Wow.
tits were good.
It's probably
and
the
I was,
shockwave
and I was,
therapy.
and I was holding in my rib flares.
And you're probably your face is feeling like
Right, I was like,
I'm more pleasant because I'm not
yeah,
feeling pain.
Yes,
That's gotta be it.
right.
I've been
Oh, and he's kind of ugly, but kind of hot.
so because of that, you're like, I'm gonna start fucking ugly guys.
like maybe I should start like Anthony Bourdain type.
That the thing is like, yeah,
Like that's kind of hot to
but-
fuck a guy who's like tall and has an amazing body and a huge cock, but he's like his face is a little fucked up.
that's what I prefer. Yeah, I don't like guys
That's very
that look
new
like
to
they're on
me.
TV.
Yeah, that look like
she
they're on
likes
TV.
guys that look like they're on TV.
Any guy on any show.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, those are the men that we should be fucking.
Well, it's like I feel
beautiful
like they
men are like so
I feel like they
gross
really
to
know
me.
how to make you nut.
Absolutely.
You know, and it's like all
a man
that's
with
all
a
I want.
fucked up face is always like, you don't want to get in there. You know, it's like he's gonna make you fucking come. You know, and like that's what we want.
Yeah,
But I feel like you would only ever do something like that if you ran into them in that type of
I was
scenario.
having a manic episode
Because I already know that like the second you're like on Grindr or whatever, it's like you're saying no to every butterface.
every single one.
So you're a liar is what you are.
Yeah.
But I love the thought. And I believe that
well, you know what they say.
if it
it's
happens in the
thought that
wild, I
counts.
think you could really
it's
take
the
it there.
thought that counts.
I have been I've been getting clocked boots.
Wait, not by just the chiropractor.
Not just by the chiropractor.
That's really crazy.
Like I I get hit on my block for some reason, like in the morning when
Guys
I go to get my
offer
coffee.
to fillet you when you go
Right.
to leave
It's
your apartment in the morning.
it's aggressive. 3 people have offered to suck my dick, or begged rather, not offered. But like, yeah, last week I was going to get a coffee barefaced. It always happens when I'm barefaced. Walk by him, he goes, "Oh wow, you're beautiful." I go,
Okay.
"Oh, thanks." And then I'm like literally like half a block away, and he goes, "I can tell, by the way." But it's okay. It's cool.
Like,
Okay.
okay.
You want
And
me
you
to
know
suck my
what?
dick?
Okay.
Okay. Nobody wasn't hot. They're never hot. And then there's the
Yeah.
creepy guy, my creepy neighbor.
And he thought that I was you the other day when I wore your
Yeah,
trench
'cause he
coat
said,
to go to
"Ugh,
Target.
Another tranny.
Yeah. He said, Jordan.
I see him all the time. I could be walking anywhere in the East Village and I run into him. It's crazy. But now I'm mean to him because the last time I was nice to him, I stopped. I took out my headphones and he said, "Please, let me suck it." I was like, oh my God. This man is like in his 70s.
Geraldo. He looks like a Geraldo to me.
Yeah, he's definitely like Eastern European, like Serbian or
Right,
something.
right.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I ran into another guy who like walked alongside me to my coffee shop. It always happens when I'm getting my coffee.
That's not
And
scary.
he wanted my number, so I gave him my card, which is my work card. And so it's just
Right.
my name and my number on it.
So chic. Patrick
he
Bateman.
left me, came and found me again 5 minutes later and said, "I Googled the number. Please let me suck it." Like, what the fuck?
Well, you know what? The
I'm
card
gonna chop my fucking dick
the
off.
card did its job.
I know, it felt really good.
That's really
I will
kind.
say that.
But
I'm glad that you're feeling boots and you're getting
I'm
your
feeling
oats
boots and I'm also
you're
feeling
getting hit on again.
cats.
Yeah.
What's your next sub?
Love Island. Should we finally talk about it?
Yes.
So by the time this comes out, like so much is going to have happened, but that's okay.
Right.
Last night was
Everyone
the
who's
first
in
night
the room
of
has seen it.
yeah,
Casa Amor.
a Casa Amor.
All the boy bombshells.
Everyone's ugly. The boys
All the
and
girls
the
too,
girls.
except for Coco.
The only real beautiful women
Are
are
black.
all the black women on the show are like super
Alondria,
gorgeous.
Shelly, Coco.
Yeah.
Everyone else.
Is that the new girl? Her name is Coco? Yeah. What's the new girl with all the filler? What's her
Vanna?
name?
Vanna
I
White.
was going to say Ivan. Ivan Ooze.
Her name is Vanna, and she has the same thing that I have, where
Oh, which
like
chin?
you've got your chin done somehow, and so your chin is like it comes out like out of which
Your
angle?
chin does not look like that.
She looks she looks like me if you were to like put me like in a microwave for 30 seconds and like put like curly blonde extensions. She is really something.
Yeah. Sorry, not to make fun of women for getting work done. It's like I feel bad
Right,
for her.
right.
You know, she's from Salt Lake
But
City.
some people need to be bullied. Well, that checks out.
I bet she's going to Heather Gay's fucking med spa
Clan.
and getting injected. Lego head. Lego head ass bitch. Heather Gay?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm familiar.
She looks like a Lego head. Not anymore. She dissolved the fillers.
She looks inbred.
Yeah, sorry, I make fun of women. Sorry to say that.
we make fun of women on this podcast.
If you get bad work done, I'm gonna point and laugh at you. She's only 21. It's really very
I thought she was
sad.
24.
She's
Oh, she was
21.
born in 2004.
I want to see what her
So
before
whatever that
photos
means.
look like.
But all their bodies are tea.
Of course.
There's also a
Of
man
course.
on it, but you can't say that because
What do you mean?
We won't get into that.
Oh yeah, one of them looks
No,
kind of
yeah,
trans.
but we're not gonna say which one. And
Here's my question: where are all the men jerking off?
Well, they're obviously coming inside pussies because Nick fucked Sierra.
But we haven't seen
Jeremiah
that much
fucked
sex.
Huda. Pepe and Hannah had sex. She did a spit start on live television.
But still, that's not like men come
In the shower.
every day.
In the shower.
But I don't think they're doing it
Or
in the
they're
shower
having
because
nocturnal
the
emissions
showers
next to women
yeah,
that they barely
the
know.
showers are not private. I
We
think
need
they're
to have
going.
a consent conversation
There's gotta
around
be.
Love Island.
There's got to be bathroom stalls for pooping. I bet they're jerking off.
Well,
in there.
you know what I would say? Oh, for sure.
But they don't get to have porn.
They should have a masturbatorium.
Yeah. But they want them to be reserving their nut because it makes them crazy.
Right. Crazy. They have to reserve their
What
chi.
were you just saying?
Consent? Yeah, we need to have a
What's that?
consent, a larger conversation around
Consent?
on
Love
around
Island?
consent on Love Island, because it's like, oh yeah, I sign a contract, I pass a psychological screening, and then I'm like on the show, and then I contractually have to make out with literally anyone that they say. It's sex trafficking.
It's really disgusting.
Like, imagine you had to make out with Vanna, or you had to make out with like one of the ugly boys. Like, ew. And you
better?
literally have to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like they'll like get in
Oh.
trouble.
I'm sure that they all sign consent forms. You know, it's like when you
It's
come
sick.
on the show,
And
you're
also
signing
like
up
there's so
to,
many
like,
fluids exchanged.
Yeah.
Like when they like have the udders and they squirt the milk in their mouth, and then they have to squirt the milk into someone else's mouth and then
Yeah.
squirt it in
That
a
one
bucket.
that was actually
like that's gonna
not
make me
okay.
throw up. And also none of
I
them
didn't
know how to
watch it.
kiss. You want to do an example of how they kiss?
Did you see that I wrote that down?
Oh wait, how would you kiss on Love Island?
Okay, yeah. How would you kiss
Okay.
on Love Island?
Wait, okay.
Because
What's the challenge?
Well, like I was watching the last challenge
Where
where
they have,
they're
like,
all
headphones
kissing
on?
the new like the
Yeah.
Casa girls and boys, and like they're all just like, I think
Okay,
it was
this
Huda.
is how
Huda
they're
went up
kissing.
and did this. I was like, what is wrong with you bitches?
This is how they kiss on Love Island.
Yeah. Grab a fucking ass, slam it into your fucking
It's like,
crotch.
what the fuck? Like, I want to be kissed like this. Ready?
Show us how you would kiss
I
on
want
Love
to be
Island.
kissed tenderly. I want to be
No,
kissed like.
show how you would kiss.
This is how, okay. I can't use you as the model.
No.
Okay. I
You-
kiss like
yeah, you
I kiss
people
like I
wish.
kiss like this.
Wow. Oh, a little bit of teeth. Wow. Boyfriend?
I
I'm
really got into that. I
nervous.
feel a little tingly downstairs.
And that's why I couldn't let you kiss me.
Lily Tino, I'm just trying to tinkle.
This is how I would kiss on Love Island.
Okay. This is fun. This is a sleepover.
How do you do it? Like this?
Yeah, just like that. Like, you know.
I'm really looking. I'm
She is literally moaning into the mic. Yeah, well, it's like no one taught them how to kiss.
No, they're all very aggressive.
It's very disgusting to
But
watch.
a lot of hot people think that that's.
But I love that.
That's good kissing.
I like, okay, if you're like pounding my bust like in missionary, and like you're obviously
Crumb City in this
you're
bed.
seeing my bees, and you're spitting my mouth and shit, like,
Seeing your bees. Cupping.
and you're like you got my foot's in your mouth and stuff. You're allowed, and I just took a fat whiff of like English white label poppers. You're allowed to shove your tongue down my throat,
Yes.
but that's the only time
Yeah.
that I want you to do
I
that.
guess they're trying to like really leave an impression, but like,
Well, yeah, an impression in a block of clay.
but that just wouldn't be
taking a
my
tongue
approach.
mold.
I feel like taking it like really slow and
Tiffany took a
sensual is
tumble.
so much more impressionable.
Right.
When you like press your lips onto someone else's
Right.
lips and really
Right.
let them like just
Show me?
feel each other. No. It's like that's when you get the tingles,
Right.
you know?
At the airport.
It's not that sick. Both my clients were good kissers today, thank God.
Okay, so I've been having clients. It's like, I know my breath isn't stinky because
But they don't want to kiss you.
they want to kiss and they ask to kiss me, but then they kiss me with like a totally closed mouth, and then like we'll be having sex and I'll like try and put my finger in their mouth, and they're just like,
Well, maybe they
and
have
they're not
bad
very
breath.
but it's like, or like they're just not very orally fixated.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
I've been noticing that more recently as well, actually.
that's not natural. We all go through an oral fixation.
But you know
phase.
what? I've been thinking that
What?
lately also, and then I had this client who's like kind of old. He's like a retired cop.
He's retired.
And I was like, I'm so glad that he doesn't want to open his mouth. But when he finally did, I saw dead tooth.
Oh.
Dead tooth. I'm like, oh, thank
I
God.
was so okay. Wait, we didn't talk about this last time, but there's a painting up there of my grandmother that I like inherited from my mom. My mom's still alive, but I took it off her hands because I was like, oh, I'll give her a better like situation to live in where it's like, you know, less crazy. And I had her just like on this bookshelf. And the other day, she wasn't like adhered to anything. She wasn't fixed to the wall or anything. She slid off the bookshelf while I was watching Lucifer. And I go over here and I catch her. And the corner of the frame hits my lip.
Top corner, bottom left. Which corner?
Bottom right or
Bottom
left. And it hits and it busts my lip open. And I feel it on my... First, I feel tooth pain because I'm like, ow.
Of course.
And then
Knock
I'm
your
like, and then I
frickin'
feel it
teeth
and it's
out.
wet, and then I'm bleeding everywhere. Okay. And you're just gonna cough
You
again.
really like the geek bars, huh?
Well, I just like Barry. And so I'm like, oh my God, what if I get a dead tooth from this? Because you know, like I can't walk around with like a black dead tooth in the corner. I'm gonna have to get emergency dentistry. And that's one of my biggest fears, is having a dead tooth. Because then if I get like
Well, they just
an
replace
implant
it.
or something, it's like they're going to have to stain it to be yellow like the other ones.
Yeah, or maybe you could just... I thought, didn't you go to the dentist like a week ago or something?
I was supposed to get my teeth cleaned the day after I busted my lip open. So I couldn't, but now it's healed.
Oh,
and I
I
didn't need
see.
to get a stitch or anything, but
You
I
should
just
get
have a
your
little
teeth
lump.
whitened
Yeah, you should too.
at the dentist.
You actually have pretty white teeth. Well, the
I could
bottom
d-
ones are.
Well, that
They're all wearing sweaters.
I've definitely got like built up.
Yeah,
down there
plaque.
because of
Or like
because of
plaque
the-
psoriasis. Her chorus line.
It's like there's
of
no
teeth.
getting that off. I haven't had my teeth cleaned in like a decade.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I had my
they're
teeth
gonna pull
cleaned in
them
Oregon.
out. Yeah.
I'm gonna start like really being okay. I have this friend who is a gorgeous transsexual. She's rich because her boyfriend is rich, and maybe she comes from money. I don't know. But shout out to you, love you. You're stunning. You're chic. You're kind. You know who you are. She gets her teeth cleaned once a month.
Oh yeah.
That's
That's gorgeous.
That's so
you never
gorgeous.
brush your teeth again.
But I would. Exactly. And you know what? I think that's what rich people do. I don't think that rich people brush their
They
teeth.
don't
I
brush
think
their
that they
teeth.
get their teeth cleaned once a month, and then they use mouthwash the rest of the time, and maybe like
I'm
scrub
sure
their
they're
tongue.
brushing their teeth, but they're probably not
They don't
like so
floss.
worried
You
about
don't have to
it.
floss.
Well, you do.
Not when you get your teeth cleaned once a month. You're scraping all that shit off.
That's so true. But yeah,
I'm gonna start getting them cleaned at least every 6 months.
yeah. Your health insurance now covers.
Immunicare, yeah, it's good for trannies, and it covers dentistry.
Okay, I signed up, but
Yeah.
mine hasn't started yet.
Yeah, it'll kick in, mama.
It's that whole thing where it's like, I'm scared to go to the dentist because I haven't gone in so long and they're going to be mean to me. But I weirdly have always had very
good oral hygiene.
good dental health.
Yeah, you're so good.
And I've definitely had
Think
some
of it.
moments where I could feel like a cavity happening. And then I just like,
She says, not
I lock
today.
in and I start using all the hydroxyapatite shit. And then it's gone. So it's like, what the
Trim
fuck?
spa, baby.
How long have we even had dentists in this country anyway?
Well, you know what's crazy is that people
In this world,
you know
even.
what's crazy is like a bunch of like it's so weird. I grew up in like such a weird multi-culti like place in like Central
Multi-culti?
California, and we were always having like tribes of like Maasai men who were like 8 feet tall, like in traditional like Maasai garb, like tribal men from Africa come to visit, and like we'd have like an auditorium,
What the fuck?
what do you call those where you like go in the auditorium?
An auditorium.
No, like a
you would
meeting
have,
or
like,
whatever thing. Like a what is that called?
You would have like
Fuck, lamictal.
it would be like
Yeah.
we had like spirit week.
Yes.
It's like that
But,
type of
that
vibe.
kind of thing, and they'd like not a convention, but you guys know what I'm saying. I forget the word, but like there'd be like we'd always be having like people from Africa being like, and we could ask them anything. It'd be like a Q&A. And one time,
Your school is rich, huh?
yeah, and in public schools. And one time,
Yeah.
this one kid asked this like lady from Africa. She was like,
Do you guys brush your teeth in Africa?
because we were all like in 4th grade or something, and she's like, of course we do.
She can't help herself.
And And she explained to us that they used like this like root of a tree that when chewed on creates like all these like cleaning fibers and has like antibacterial properties. And it's like people have been brushing their teeth, not white people, but everyone else has been washing their teeth for millennia.
Well, I feel like it's just intuitive because it just your mouth feels gross.
Well, you know, it's like people in like the fucking Middle Ages and stuff, like they weren't
These
washing
are
their
bones.
bodies. I know. And you know what? Because
this is part of our skeleton.
Because I have hypercalcemia. I think that's why I have such strong teeth, and I survived painting gate.
Oh wow, me too. Your crumbs are like getting deep.
Sorry.
Into
Well,
my
that you're on the
mouth.
crumb side.
This is your crumb side.
That's where I put my plates.
Well, aren't you just so kind?
Your pud is so warm. I touched her penis in France, and she got really mad at me.
I did not get really mad. I just said, "Why would you do that?"
She shamed me.
We were laying in bed, and she did this to me. She goes like, "Where is it?" And then she touches it. I'm like,
over the blanket.
Still, I'm like, don't do that.
Well, I was having like an autistic. I was blacking out. Anyway.
She said, "Oh, we're sisters. I can touch your penis without your consent."
Okay.
This, I bet, like, actually, chasers jerk off to her.
Yeah, for sure. It's like sometimes our clients like look us up and they see this.
Cupping ball. She's touching my cock. We're kissing each other.
Okay. More importantly, the people on Love Island do not know that we bombed Iran. They do not know that we're in World War III now.
I was thinking about that, and I bet actually they probably did inform them.
Do you think that they give them like important updates like that?
Yeah,
I
bet
think
they
so.
do.
I hope that they keep them in the.
That's so.
Keep
Imagine
them in the,
coming
in the
out.
fog.
You come out of Fiji, and then you fly home,
and it's a nuclear
just,
winter.
Everyone's dead,
and it's like American Horror Story apocalypse.
and they say thanks,
and they say
Beep, 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 beep.
at least I got 100,000.
How does the love
This
my
is
life?
my first season watching. How does it actually work? Do they vote people off until there's like one couple left?
No, usually there's like 3 couples left, and then America votes for the couple that they want,
Wow,
and then they like win. But then they're like, okay, are you guys splitting the money, or is one of you gonna take it?
Wow, like the traders.
Yeah.
But who
Cordell
the fuck would
and
not split the money
the
if
other
you're in a
girl,
relationship?
last season they split the money.
Do people ever actually not split it?
I'm assuming so. I've only ever watched last season of Love Island USA.
USA.
And that's what got me hooked. I will never not watch the show.
Okay. Yeah. This was my first season too. I'm currently watching
Incredible
season
television.
6 and season 7 because it's like cracked to me. And
Right.
so I'm like, while I'm waiting for a new episode of season 7, I'm watching season 6.
The fact that it comes out almost every day.
Cut off my fucking hair. It's just like, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, the fact that it's every day is absolutely... It's a brilliant formula. The producers are brilliant.
They are fucking on it. The editors, they edit that shit in like fucking like less than 20 hours.
I have something crazy to say that apparently you didn't know about.
Okay.
I have seen on TikTok that Shelly and Ace knew each other before coming into the villa, which is public knowledge.
Wait, no. Yeah, we
that
saw
is public knowledge
in the first episode.
Yes, that is public knowledge. However, people are saying they think that they're closer than they're leading on, like they're an actual couple, and they came into, and they're together in the villa, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And they're playing the long game, and that's why they're really taking it slow. And when you really think about it, neither of them have kissed anyone outside of the challenges.
Gag.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it's like people are really upset, but it's like, do you guys really believe that anybody on a show like this has like true intentions?
I would go on there. I'd be like, I need to find the love of my life.
You would?
Yep. And
well,
I think
because you are attracted to men like that, though. You are.
Well, no, it's
Any
like,
man that would be
if
on a
I'm gonna
TV
go on
show.
a dating show, it's not for money and fame. It's for love.
That is, I truly can't fathom that anyone is actually there for love.
Historically, I've always wanted to be the first tranny bachelorette,
So you can get your feelings hurt.
so I can get my toes sucked.
I got my toes sucked a lot today.
Did you guys ever see the great Trans-American Love Story or whatever with Calpurnia Adams?
I never watched that.
We
I've just
should.
seen
It's on like
clips,
Amazon
yeah.
Prime, and it's actually so good because it's like, it's every.
They're all chasers, right?
It's every archetype of chaser going
Right.
after like Calpurnia Adams, who's
Right.
like this like surged out goddess, And they're all like, all the archetypes are like Ned Schneebly, like nerd, or like bodybuilders, or like, oh yeah, Calpurnia. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so on the nose.
Only
Also,
2 types
did
of
you ever watch
chasers.
that show that's like called There's Something About Miriam? She was murdered because she was a tranny. But
Did
she
they
was
know?
No, she was so hot and gorgeous, and
So
all these guys got to
a
know her. All
trick.
these guys got to know her, and then they're like, "There's something about Miriam," and then they all found out that she was a guy. And then all the guys were like, "Ew, gross, whatever." And then one guy was like, "I think you're still beautiful, Miriam." But later, after the show, murdered.
Murdered by a contestant, or just like
I
a
don't
random?
remember, but
Oh my god, that's gonna make me cry.
but Lisa Monroe was killed with a hammer.
Lisa Marie.
Lisa Marie. Was that
From-
Bridalplasty?
Yes.
Okay,
Ugh.
and I really want to watch that show because I
Have you never seen
No,
it?
I've never seen it.
Oh
I was talking. I
my God.
I was talking to Nora about it in the car.
Yeah.
On the way
Yeah,
home,
yeah,
she
yeah.
was like, "Have you ever seen Bridalplasty?" She was like, "Oh my god."
Lisa
That
Marie
and-
was murdered
and,
with a hammer.
Lisa Marie was murdered with a hammer.
And it's so sad because on the show, like every time they put Lisa Marie on the screen, they have like theme music for her that's like.
Because she's so dumpy.
She's just like
And
unattractive
they're not
and
like, they're
kind
not
of
allowed to like. Oh wait, what's the one? Oh, the Swan.
Yeah,
I did
never
watch
watched
The Swan.
but I think Bridalplasty's like way
Right. Well, you know what's so
crazier.
crazy is because like the ethical like
Oh, it's
the
demonic.
ethical ramifications of,
It's-
of getting a bunch of brides together and then being like, okay, you guys have to compete to win a
And they're
surgery, and they get
cutthroat.
surgery every single week, and it's like they keep getting put under for several hours, like multiple times a week.
And by the time you get halfway through the show, they're all like bandaged up. It's so fucking good. What is the girl that's like the evil one? Her name is like Jessica or something like that.
Worse.
Oh, we're gonna watch that.
We're gonna watch
together.
that.
We'll get high and watch that. Maybe we can watch that tonight. I want to order a burrito.
I know. I have a client though. It's
Oh,
11:15.
you're such a lesbian.
I know, but you could stay here and then I can come back
You-
and then we can
where's
have a
your
burrito
alcohol?
and watch.
In the city?
Yeah,
Ay.
but don't be gay.
Well, I'll think about
Um,
it because I
okay.
really want New Mexico place.
I want to pick up a phone with a cord.
Excuse me?
Hello. Hello. We were at a restaurant the other day, and,
Oh,
and
yeah.
a phone rang with a cord. And it's like there was a cord, like a bar phone, and it had a cord on it. And I was like, and no one was picking it up, and I was like, I want to pick that
I
up.
want to pick that up. I think it would be really cunt if we got
Like work landlines.
Yeah. To just like
Imagine we had like the Powerpuff Girls phone. It's like with like a
Yeah.
light on it.
honestly,
Hello?
maybe maybe when I'm like a student again, it's like I'll be
Yes.
like, listen,
Yes.
I have a landline. I come home and check my voicemails. Any client that's worth
And honey,
seeing
I
will leave a
screen
message.
my calls.
Yes.
You know how my grandma used to screen calls? You'd have to call her. She's my step grandma.
Uh-huh.
You'd have to.
Her?
Nope, that's real. Not to say that my step grandma
Grand
wasn't
Mary?
real, but she passed. She used to. You'd have to call her twice, and then hang up, and then call her again
She had
and let it
anxiety.
ring once, and then she'd answer the phone. Before I call her ID and shit.
So she could know that it's someone that she knows.
Yeah. And
Oh,
I think that's so
wow.
clever.
Why wouldn't she just let it go to voicemail and then like whoever it is be like, Grandma, it's
I don't think. I think
me.
this was before
Pick
voicemail.
up the phone. No way.
This
People
was like in the 60s and 70s and shit.
they didn't have voicemails.
I don't think they have like an answering machine.
Wow,
yet.
technology
I
is
know,
just
it's just like so-
zooming by us. Oh my
Godlike
god,
technology.
we're gonna be literal like mush our brains
Well, you
and
know,
like
they say that ChatGPT
amniotic
users
fluid in
are
bottles.
becoming more retarded than people who don't use ChatGPT. Like,
Well,
their
that makes
brains are
sense.
mushing.
Because we're not
My brain is
we're not
mushing.
using our critical thinking
Right,
skills
and I don't want
anymore.
to.
Though I feel like there's a way to use ChatGPT that's actually
I
just
wanna
like
become an
incredibly
object.
helpful. Yeah, I think it's all about reading. At the end of the day, I think
Guess what?
if
Got
you're
a lot
not
of books.
reading, you're losing. And I'm not reading.
Wow. And I'm not losing.
And I'm losing.
I'm reading.
But
I'm not reading.
I'm
But you
gonna-
know what? I'm
gonna
gonna read.
fucking read.
I'm gonna read a chapter, not a chapter, but like a few paragraphs from my Gnostic book.
You are so
At the end of the
good.
podcast, because I
Oh,
wanted
wow.
to tell you and the viewers about Gnosticism a little bit. However, okay. The other day I had a client, and he told me to invest in Tesla. And I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. But
Tesla's
Tesla,
gonna have a big moon.
Okay, Tessa's gonna do her big one.
Big Tessa.
Okay. Big Tessa.
Big Tessa's gonna
Big
do her
turbulent
big-
Tessa. So Tesla literally
I'm really getting sucked over
Just-
the edge by the crumbs.
it started this. Okay, they started. You know how like Waymo has self-driving cars.
Yep.
So Tesla just released the robo taxi in Austin with like a flat fare fee of like $4.25 for like any ride.
Mm-hmm.
And they're predicting that if they can take Austin because of like the demographic,
Mm-hmm.
that it will be a huge. It'll out business or.
Yeah, you got it. Sweat pits.
It'll put Uber out of business. It'll put Waymo out of business. Literally, the terrain, the pioneership, the frontier of like Uber and like ride shares will be
rideshare.
completely.
It's gonna be Tesla owned and operated.
terraformed by Tesla.
Terraformed.
Proverbially.
Tesla's gonna be terraformed, honey.
Well, they're going to be terraforming Mars. But however, so if this is a success, the stock is going to go really, really high up. And so the other day I tried buying $1,000 worth of Tesla stock.
You know how to do that?
Yeah, you can
Are
do
you
it
doing it on
Alinea.
Alinea?
You can do it on Alinea.
Oh, I'm
but they
no
froze
longer.
my account.
Yeah, same.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I
excuse
think
me?
it needed some type of update.
Right.
Although I cashed out months ago
Yeah,
because shit was getting too crazy, and I was like,
I'm letting.
I think I
I'm just,
also
like,
needed
letting
the money.
shit go in there. Just
Yeah.
like, it's fine.
"What's yours at now?"
I don't know. Should we look?
Yeah.
But honey, once I get unfrozen, I'm buying Tesla stock, even though they're a terrible, terrible company, and I don't agree with them ethically. However,
Every
I
girl for
don't like
themselves.
Elon Musk, but I'm a transsexual, and I am trying to retire.
If you are an accountant
Please
or
DM
anything
us.
of the sort, because I'm like, I don't know if that's what I'm looking for, but I think so. We need help. Okay.
Yeah. Well, guess what?
Because we're really getting our big girl panties on, and I'm like, I need to learn how to
my
invest
investments
my money.
on Alinea. Alinea sponsor us.
Oh my
my
God, look at
investments on
you.
Alinea, $6,393.
Okay, but how much of that is like free money versus what you put in?
That's a good question. I don't want to think about that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. But in 50 years, I could have had, if I invested $5 daily, I could have had $17 million.
What? That's not right.
Yeah, in 50 years.
I should start doing that again.
Yeah, it's like really imperative. However, okay, so I'm going to invest in Tesla. But the guy who told me about this,
a client.
the client, I go to his house. He's like, oh, I have all this champagne.
Are you gonna tell them?
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
I go to his house. He's like, I have all this champagne, whatever. And he was like, I think he booked me for like an hour. And then he was like, can we do 2 hours when I got there? And I was like, sure. So we're just shooting the shit. We're talking about Iran. We're talking about the world geopolitical climate. We're talking about economics. We're talking about art. We're talking about traveling. We're talking about all these interesting things. And then, you know, I'm there working. It's my job, right? So finally, I'm like, okay, I've been talking to this fatso for 2 hours.
He's fat.
Yeah, who isn't?
He's just a fatso.
He's just a fucking
He's
fatso.
not fat. He's a fatso.
And so I've been talking to this guy for like 2 hours, and I'm fucked up because he just keeps opening bottles of champagne. So I finally do my big one, and I'm like, and I touch him, and as soon as I break that wall, I break the ice. He starts unbuttoning his shirt, and I'm like, oh, your shirt's unbuttoned, and he goes, and then he takes my hand and he puts it on his titty, and he has titties, and he wants me to like start playing with his nipples. So I'm like, okay, that's fine, that's totally kosher, you know what I mean? And then we go to the bedroom, and we start doing stuff, and we're fornicating, and he goes, I want to eat your shit. I want to eat your shit. I want to eat poop. I want to shit in my mouth. Oh, push out. Eating my ass. Push out. I had no poop in my ass because I don't do that. I was spreading my ass cheeks open. Push out. Push out. I want to eat your shit. And I'm just like, okay. He's like, would you have you ever shot in a guy's chest? I lied. I said once.
She tried.
I tried. That's another story.
They
for
know.
another time.
We've told them.
Oh, the Chipotle burrito, the geriatric corpse.
They of course know.
So I was like, yeah, I would shit on your chest, like whatever. I'd probably charge a lot for
I
that,
can
whatever.
Shit on your chest, babe.
So I don't shit on him. No poop comes out of my butthole.
Did you push out?
Of course.
So you tried.
Well, to give him the illusion that I was trying.
Right.
And then so like also I'm porking him, and he's like, and he's biting the pillow like this. And I was like, and I started laughing in his face. I was like, "You're just a little pillow biter." Yeah,
Just a little pillow biter.
Anyway, so needless to say, weird fucking experience. And then
Eat your shit.
I want to eat your shit. And then he was like, and then I was like, okay, like let's go back in the other room or whatever. Like after he came. So then like I was like, okay, I've been here for like 4 hours. I'm starving. So he orders a sushi, and so I eat like 8 bites of sushi, and then I was like, I'm gonna go pee.
One roll.
And then he comes into the bathroom. He's like, I'm gonna take your piss. So I put my pee-pee in his mouth, and then it's like not a drip was lost. Not a drip was spared.
Like that's. I did not know that was gonna happen.
Literally. And then I come back into the room, and all the sushi's gone. And I was like, where did the sushi go? I said, I threw it away.
Done with that.
I have not. I'm drunk
Enough
on
of that.
champagne. I have not.
You want my shit or not, buddy?
You want my shit or not, buddy? I got a few left.
Gotta make room.
And that shit never goes hungry. And so then your butt chewing.
Wait.
So then I'm like, okay, well, like, do I still need to be here? And he's like, let's do some shopping. So then he sends me a bunch of Bitcoin, and that was fabulous. So I made a lot of money seeing him, but I left my agent provocateur bra there, and he accidentally sent me a little too much money. So
He doubled it accidentally. You scammed him out of double.
But yeah,
Because he tried to send it. We have to never tell each other anything ever again so we can save it for the podcast. So everything's
Right.
like, ugh, I wish you were telling me
shock
this for the
factor.
first time.
I had to tell someone.
I know, of course. It's like, why? Of course you had to tell me. But he sent you the amount, and then it didn't go through, and he was like, just send it back to me if it does go through. And it did go through, but he sent it twice.
Yeah. So
And a hoe's never going to send that money back, you idiot.
because that's not within my
That's not your money.
wherewithal. I'm entitled to that money.
And did he ever say anything?
No. So I was like, hey, I left my bra
If
there.
he can
And
spend
was
that
like,
much money,
and he was
it's
like, oh, didn't find it. I was like, okay.
Oh, he found it.
Yeah. So
He's wearing it.
well, yeah, he was like, can I dress up in panties? I want to eat
Yeah,
your shit.
exactly. It's like, that's his now. Yeah.
If that's
You know,
that's her bra now.
What's his face in Sicily stole my panties too.
Leonardo?
Yeah. I said, I left my underwear. He said, oh, do you want them back?
Nice
I put
sniffy.
them in my nightstand. I was like, you can have them. It's
Yeah,
like,
he's gonna wrap him around the dildo. He's gonna shove
I
him in
don't
his
have
ass.
a pussy for you to be sniffing. You know, it's
She's
like,
got a
why do you want to sniff girl cock? That's disgusting.
It's really disgusting. I hooked up with a guy who was like, I love musty balls.
Ew.
And I was like, are you bisexual? He was like, no, I just love the smell of like a trans girl's musty balls.
I hate.
Anyway, I'll let him sniff them. Anyway, she's puking off cam. So
that really upset me.
anyway,
I just
that was a crazy
I wanna get
experience.
addicted to this stuff.
No, you don't.
I know, but
That was a crazy
it's
experience.
like the flavor.
That I thought I would talk about. Oh yeah,
Really crazy. It's like so much more crazier than you guys could actually know or comprehend, but we do have to censor ourselves a little bit.
Did you guys vote for the mayor? Because today was voting day, right?
Zordon?
We
The
voted
Zordon?
for Zordon. Zordon.
Okay, but
We voted for Zoran Mamdani.
I didn't do all of my research on everyone else. And
I know,
was
as
like,
long as you didn't
oh.
pick Andrew Cuomo, you're fine.
No, I mean for like all the other things.
Oh,
like
I didn't either. I chose like every like ethnic woman's name.
Well, I tried to like Google everything while I was there voting.
I said I'm
but it
going
was
to
a
vote for
little
the
too much.
Latinas and I'm going to vote for the black women and I am not going to vote for white men.
That's kind of what I did as well. But I also did
Probably
look.
all
I was like,
Republicans.
it was the most. No, well, I did make sure they were Democratic and like progressive. Next time, I'm really gonna do my big one though.
Yeah.
I'm
Well, it's like,
gonna
is the
really-
mayor every 4 years? Like the president?
I think it's every 2 years, maybe.
Oh, that's good.
I'm thinking.
Okay, well,
I'm thinking that.
Zoran. We just like we love
Mamdani?
the Power Rangers. Zordon.
I'm always thinking about Zordon. and,
Wait,
like,
do the impression.
Ay, 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 Power Rangers.
did you say Zordon? Did she have whistling sticks? So, have you guys seen that one? The one with Ivan Ooze? It's so good. I forget her name. The girl with the whistling sticks.
Well, you know what's so crazy is that all the Power Rangers is dubbed because it's all originally like in like Japanese.
Oh, the
or something.
original. Yeah.
It's really crazy.
Yeah, it's actually like stolen.
And did you
They
know,
stole it.
Did you know that the Yellow Ranger they made into a girl, but it's actually a boy in the original series. That's why she's not wearing a skirt.
So it's okay that I wore the yellow Power Ranger costume for Halloween when I was a kid.
My favorite was the Red Ranger.
See, you try to pretend that red isn't your favorite color.
Well, first
but
I
it's
like
like,
my first
it
color. My
is.
first favorite color was red, and then it became blue. So I liked the red and the blue Ranger.
Did you like them because of like
I thought that they were cute.
them and boy? Yeah, Tommy. And then the blue one is the frog.
The blue one. Yeah. So
He was actually cute with the glasses.
So we love Zoran Mamdani.
Yeah, of course.
He's a Democratic Socialist. He's leading in the polls over Andrew Cuomo by I think last
It's
time
election
I checked, it was
day,
like,
if you didn't
it was
know.
like 8 points or something, which I think is huge.
Yeah, I think he's
And
gonna win.
I really hope that he's gonna win.
But there was an old guy at the polls
Oh,
right
yeah, tell
next
that
to me.
story.
It's a really good story. It's not. It's just a little thing.
This whole thing.
There was an old guy at the polls, and there was like an old lady helping him because he didn't really know what he was doing. She said, "Okay, you're gonna
If you don't know
rank
how
your
to fill out
number
a
one."
voting ballot, you're
Exactly.
not allowed to vote.
And he said,
That's where
Cuomo."
they say, we're going to go ahead and take you in this other room. Firing squad.
Yeah, you shouldn't be voting if you're over the age of 80. And he certainly was. Oh, number one, Cuomo. Then she brought up
Voting out
Zordon.
loud.
Yeah, he was voting out loud. And then she
Got a
brought up
couple
Zordon.
million on me right now.
And he said, no, that one I would choose last. It's like, everyone's racist.
Literally just because
Everyone
he's
is racist.
Muslim.
My client that I saw right before voting was like, oh, yeah, did you vote? And I was like, yeah, I voted for Zordon. And he was like, I don't think he's going to win. New York City's not going to vote for a Muslim. I was like, what? Like, we're in a very
the
progressive
fuck?
city. It's like, it's a very multicultural city. It's like, yeah, there's also a lot of Jews. It's like, okay.
Well, you know what?
Have a
I
good
was
day.
watching Zordon. We have to stop saying that. I was watching Zordon on
It's just like, that's how my brain works.
right. On the Stephen Colbert show. He was interviewing him, and Stephen Colbert. He interviewed the other guy who was running for mayor, the comptroller or whatever the fuck that means, who got arrested at like the ICE like detention agency for like trying to defend an immigrant from being taken away from ICE. He interviewed him and Zoran at the same time. And literally, Stephen Colbert asked this other guy about like all of his accomplishments and stuff, and whenever the only questions he asked Zoran about was Israel and his stance on Israel. And basically, Zoran
What the
was
fuck
like,
doesn't matter? He's a fucking mayor.
who has nothing to do with fucking Israel. And Zoran was like, yeah. Well, Stephen Colbert was like, do you think that Israel has a right to exist? And Zoran was like, I think every country, including Israel, has a right to exist, but within like humane,
Yeah.
not within genocidal.
Right.
means. Like,
Can we get Israel out of our fucking mouths?
please,
For 2 fucking
we're
seconds?
sucking
Jesus
Netanyahu's
Christ.
little cock.
And he did that because he's making sure that the Jews don't vote for him.
I know. It's
Not
like,
that
what the
there aren't plenty of
fuck?
Jews that are not.
And you know what?
pro-Palestine,
When
but-
you actually look up the word anti-Semitic, it actually includes Muslim people. The crucible.
You idiots.
You
You didn't know that, did
because
you?
Semites are both Jewish and Muslim.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm not sure why, but it's something to do with like the
And
Abrahamic.
nobody knows that. Nobody talks
Yes.
about that. Or maybe they do know and we just don't know that.
They don't know.
I don't know.
You don't know anything.
I don't know.
Yeah, the next thing I have is World War III, but whatever. Let's
I
talk
don't want
about
to talk about
Labubu's.
Wordle Word Free.
Let's talk about Labubu's.
We can talk about fucking Labubus. I don't really have much to say about them. It's
They're
just like
ugly as
something that
fuck.
popped up that I'm like not understanding. The reason I actually wanted to talk about Labubus is because I actually wanted to talk about Sarah Jessica Parker because she's pissing me the fuck off.
Great, go ahead. Go off.
Because I was watching Call Her Daddy, Don't Come For Me. Not something I regularly watch.
I actually love that show.
Really?
Yeah.
I find her to be a terrible interviewer because she's not having conversations with her guests. She's
Jane
just
Fonda
like,
said
this
that
question,
she was
this
the
question.
best interviewer she's ever had.
Well, Jane Fonda's a liar. I guarantee you she's not the best interview she's ever had. You heard it here first. Jane Fonda's a fucking liar. But Alex was asking Sarah Jessica Parker
Your
if
head
she
looks
would
so
carry...
small. Go ahead.
If she would carry a labubu. And Sarah Jessica's like, what is that?
What's a labubu?
Oh, so interesting. No, I don't think I would, but not because there's anything wrong with it or it's not stylish or anything. It's just not my personal taste. You know, I've never really carried a locket on a bag, or even when tying scarves around your bags was really popular. I never did that. It's just not my thing, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it if people do like labubu. It's like, shut the fuck up. You're fucking ugly and you know it, bitch, and it's okay to just be like, oh, that's super weird. Why are people
Oh, that's
doing
super
that?
fucking ugly. I
Right.
don't know why people are doing that.
Oh, you know, I like Sarah Jessica Parker, but trying to watch that interview, I was
She's
like,
really
ew.
insufferable.
She's insufferable. That's
Her
a fake
entire
personality.
personality is New York fashion.
Completely.
Stoops.
It's part
I have
of-
a stoop.
Oh yeah, the fucking story she tells about two men smoking a joint on her stoop, and she walks
Two men
up and is like,
fornicating on her stoop.
"Whoa!" God, that went right in my throat. Whoa, fellas, what are you doing? There's a headset penny right there. You got to be more observant. That's a lucky penny. Like, shut the fuck up, bitch.
The final boss white woman.
Like, she thinks she's so like magical and sweet. It's like, it's fake. It's fake.
Kim Cattrall had it right.
Yeah, but everyone does say that they like everyone who's ever worked with Sarah Jessica is like, oh, she's
the sweetest.
a treat to work with.
Well, I'm sure
Look,
she
she's
is.
very
But
polite.
you know what? Some girls are like that.
Oh, that's so true.
Some girls are like, hey,
Sometimes the
Stacey,
worst
how
girls are the
you?
nicest.
It's so good to see you.
Right, but then they won't sit with you at lunch.
No, they'll drink your milk.
Did you see this clip of Karen? What's her name? Karen McCluskey.
Karen McCluskey,
Mrs. McCluskey from
my PE teacher.
from the Desperate Housewives.
Oh,
I saw a little clip
What
of
about
her
her?
being interviewed. It's old, of course, and the interviewer
I
was
love
asking
Karen
her
McCluskey.
like, "Let's talk about your co-stars, or whatever," and she's like, "Oh, let's not." And she's like, "And they never, in all the years we worked together, they never asked me to have lunch with them." Like
why would they, Karen?
I know, it's like,
like,
yeah, you're kind of a stick in the mud, bitch.
like you're like a geriatric woman.
It's like, yeah, they
with
have
a
their,
very small part on Desperate Housewives.
and she was mad that they had their own like gorgeous big trailers. It's like, yeah, they're the main characters,
Yeah,
babe.
You're Karen McCluskey.
You're Karen
babe.
McCluskey.
You know who I
and
loved?
You die.
I loved
That weird one. What was her name? Like Tabitha or something.
Who?
Or Matilda.
Oh, Matilda,
yeah, like, and she was like crazy.
the sister.
Yes.
Yeah. One of
Like
the
I
crazy
love a
neighbors.
weird bitch like that.
Yeah, so you. Yeah, so you.
I would have loved to play her.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I had to say about Labubus. That really pissed me off because I've been watching, and just like that, I know you haven't. Have you?
No.
Have you watched it at all? Like any of the seasons?
I mean, I watched the first season. Or is this the third one?
It's the third, and I don't know why I keep holding out hope that it will change. It is genuinely
Like
the
worst
worst
television.
show I've ever fucking seen. And I'm not going to waste a bunch of time talking about it because it's kind of been talked about to death all over the internet. But like, as someone who really, truly
Rosie
loves Sex in
O'Donnell.
the City, it's like so
It's like,
disappointing.
let the lame horse die.
Yeah.
Um.
Black holes are portals.
Oh yeah. Oh, let's get into that.
Yeah. Let's get into that.
Now, okay. Now it's time for
Anti-picky science hour. Yay!
Because
Guess what,
usually
you
it's
guys?
me, but we're in
I
a
don't
black
know
hole.
all the information, so like go do your own research after this. I'm just gonna say what I can kind of recall from like one TikTok, okay? I get all my news from TikTok. Scientists or whatever believe that all of the galaxies in our universe should be spinning clockwise or counterclockwise 50-50. I don't know why they believe that, but they believe
What
that.
does that mean? Like there's an equal and opposite galaxy for every galaxy?
It's not that. It's just like that's just how like as the universe expands, like that is. I
They're
don't fucking
undulating
know.
dodecahedrons
They
going
just
in different
they're
ways.
just saying like scientifically it should be like a 50-50 basically, and of our observable universe, they have discovered that the majority, or like maybe like 75% of the galaxies that we can see, are all rotating. I don't know, counterclockwise. Don't quote me on that.
Whichever way gets the poop
Whichever,
out.
I think the same way that we're rotating. And they're like, the only explanation for this is that our universe is actually in a black hole. And that means what a black hole is basically a wormhole into different universes or dimensions. So within our own universe, there are billions of other black holes that
Black
we can
holes
observe.
within black holes.
Right, because our universe is our universe. The huge, the whole thing that we thought was just like, yeah, it's just, this is it. This is the whole big shebang. This is the universe, right? It's just one little guy in a super massive black hole with a bunch of other black holes in it that have their own little fucking universes in it. We're talking about billions and billions and billions of fucking universes, and we're just one of them within another one, and then within another one, within another one.
That only helps support the multiverse theory, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Everything everywhere all at once.
I'm sorry. I think this is the biggest discovery in actually ever history, if it's real. Like that completely changes everything that we've ever thought.
And then you think about how many dimensions are stacked on top.
Like, we're so teeny, tiny, itty bitty. But I'm wondering if when you go through the black holes, are all the universes like they're carbon copies of each other? Like each universe is the same, but
well,
they're
in another
like,
universe, we're
slightly
talking here,
different.
but
Right. So if we go through another black hole, is it you and me,
but
but
I'm
maybe you
Asian.
have dark hair and I have blonde hair?
yes,
Ugh,
and you're tall and I'm short.
it's very exciting. It's
And
very,
we
very
both
exciting.
weigh 500 pounds.
Yeah. Did you see any stuff about this?
I saw an infographic on Facebook
Oh,
because
just
I
an
don't have
info-
social media anymore.
You gotta see, but you say that, but you're on Facebook a lot.
Well, that's where I get my news,
But
which
you
is
should
really
stop
bad. I
doing
know,
that.
I
You
know.
keep sending.
Well,
Facebook
it's because I have like
things.
Facebook Marketplace on there.
Yeah, of course.
Well, talking about the universe, I kind of wanted to close out our pod. Going off what we
Totally.
spoke about last week.
Sing to me. Sing to me.
This
Sing
is
to
the
me.
essay
Mama, sing
by
to me.
Jacques Lacarrière called The Gnostics that I mentioned on the last pod. And I just wanted to read the first little section of the book just to give you guys a little idea about Gnosticism and what all of
You
this
should
means.
start a Substack.
Yeah, I should, right? Okay.
Mhm.
So the first chapter is called The Perforated Veil. So you guys can end here, or you can like scoot ahead to the end, but we're just going to do some listening. What emotions does the sight of the sky inspire in us, if not praise, enthusiasm, and admiration? It is vast, infinite, immutable, omnipresent. It eludes the relative and the measurable. It is a parameter of the incommensurable. But in this concert, which we consider natural and which celebrates dawn, zenith, nadir, and twilight with equal assurance, discordant notes sometimes jar the ear. To be vast is good. To be infinite is too much. To possess planets and stars is an incontestable triumph, but to possess them by the million, to teem with stars which are so many eyes trained upon the world each night as if tracking our dreams, is to wield excessive power, to display a very suspect splendor. Something in this immensity turns and meshes its gears with a regularity so precise as to be disquieting. And exactly for whom, or against whom, this mechanism deploys its flaming wheelworks, we do not know. So, in this simple look directed at the celestial vault, the Gnostics find themselves confronted with the ultimate nature of reality. What is this matter by which is by turns full and empty, dense and tenuous, luminous and dark, of which our sky is made? Is this dark shore, this tenebrous tissue, this interstitial shadow wherein the stars seem pricked like incandescent pores, constituted of matter or of space? Is the real sky nothing but its light? These winking eyes on the ocean of night? Or is it at one and the same time that which shines and that which does not, a fire flaming and dark by turns? Do its shores and its black abysses comprise a nothingness, an absence of light? Or are they the concrete material which interposes itself between our earth and the distant fires which it obscures? No doubt this question will seem absurd, or at least premature, in the age of the Gnostics. Nevertheless, it is implicit at the very starting point of their thought. Since man, in their view, is a fragment of the universe, and since the body of the one and the space of the other proceed from a simple material, both must obey the same laws. Man is a mirror in which one can discover the reduced and condensed image of the sky, a living universe carrying within him, in his body and in his psyche, fires and dark shores, zones of shadow and of light. Are these lights and shadows simply forms split off from a single material, or two materials of opposing nature? All our existence, all our choices as thinking hominids, are vitally implicated in this simple question. Thus, the Gnostics searched the splendors and the terrors of the sky to find an answer to our own duality. Never was there asked a more pertinent question, and never were the stars scanned so earnestly. And it seems that what struck these men most forcibly as they watched throughout Egyptian nights is the dark portion of the sky, the vastness, the omnipresence, the heavy opacity of that blackness. It hangs over us like a veil, a wall of shadow encircling the earth, a tenebrous dome through which appear here and there, through chinks, faults, and gaps, the glittering fires of another world. A gigantic black lid seals in our universe and encompasses us with its opacity. That's crazy.
That's a Jordan Barton poem. I didn't retain a single lick of that.
That's okay. Maybe they will. Okay, this is great. It seems then that for the Gnostics there exist several states of matter, an igneous superior state which belongs to the hyperworld, and successive states corresponding to the different circles, graded as the seeds materialize and take on darkness, opacity, and gravity. Our own matter, that of the earth, plants, and all living creatures, is in some way the seed of the ethereal particles of the hyperworld, but grown infinitely heavier. Little by little, these particles have fallen down to our level as the result of a primordial drama, which comprises the history of our universe, in the same manner that particles of dust and debris are slowly deposited at the bottom of marine abysses to form sediment. All the beginnings of our world, are, in the eyes of the Gnostics, the sediment of a lost heaven.
Wow.
I think this stuff is really interesting.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
She's not done.
Yeah, it's very dense. But
Very dense.
it's basically like they're like
Beautifully written.
but they're like, what separates us as man, as rational, from the sky and from the world and from matter and of space and of time, and what is beyond that, and who created all of this? And if someone did create all of this, why did they create flaws within the system? Wouldn't that mean that inherently the creator was flawed?
Of course.
That's the demiurge, the cosmic error. Thank you so much.
Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening. I hope that inspired at least one person. And we'll see you next time.